I'm so happy you are here today. We're talking about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. My heart goes out to all of you starting and building your businesses. I know, though, that the hardest part is how you treat yourself. Did you know that? It's how you treat yourself while you're building your business. Many of you have a lot of negative self-talk. You criticize yourself. You're the world's biggest critic of what you're doing. And you actually hurt your self-confidence and you hurt your business. Today, we're going to talk about giving yourself grace. You're going to have to. God gives us grace. Why can't we give ourselves grace? We give other people in our lives grace. Why can't we give ourselves grace? It's one of the hardest things you will ever do because you don't want to let yourself slide. And a lot of you hold yourself to a very high standard. That's why you're here. Okay? That's why you're here. So today we're going to talk about giving yourself grace. I think it's so important. And I will tell you this, if you're a long-time listener, I'm actually replaying an older episode. This is from a few years ago, but I just thought I was going to re-record. And I thought, you know what? No, this topic is very important. And this episode was great. So we're going to do it. If I do say so myself, I thought it was good. It was me speaking from the heart to you. Is really what it is. A motivational speech to you. And I thought, you know what? I've already got it. Let's just play it again because a lot of you are new here. And, we've got so many episodes that you haven't gone all through them. And if you have heard this episode, it's good that you hear it again because you can never give yourself enough grace because you've got to keep going, right? You've got to keep going. So if you're new here, I just want to say welcome. I'm so glad that you are here and have found this podcast. Scroll down in the show notes right now. You can get plugged in. I have all kinds of free resources and things for you if you are an aspiring business owner or a new business owner or you're trying to grow your business. If you are wanting to make money doing what you love with a business, this is all for you. So scroll down. One thing that people really love is my new master spreadsheet. It has all my recommended tools and apps and software and all that. So make sure you get your hands on that. It's a dynamic spreadsheet. So I do update it periodically as things change and new software comes out and all that stuff. So make sure you check out that below. And if you've been listening a while, thank you so much to all my loyal listeners. Thank you for the reviews. It means the world to me. And if you have been listening to this podcast for a while and you're like, I do like this podcast, it's one of my favorites, then would you do me a huge favor and give it a 5-star review? If you're in Apple Podcast, you can hit 5 stars. And I can't help but think that that will hopefully show it to more people like you and I who just want to make money doing what we love. And they know that it's valuable. So if you would do that, and if you have 30 seconds to write a written review, that means the world to me because I do get to read all of those and my heart just smiles and it just means so much when you leave a review. So anyways, that is it. On to the episode. Y'all enjoy. Well, hello, everyone. How are you? I hope y'all are having a great day. I just came off one of our Zoom sessions with my Grow Getters, and I'm always smiling so big after those calls because I get to see the beautiful, shining, happy, courageous, awesome women that are in the group that are pursuing their business dreams. They're working hard, trying to balance it all and do everything and figure out all the right things that they should be doing to grow their business. And it's just such an amazing time. So I'm like on a high from our Zoom call today and I just love it. Love seeing all of y'all. So shout out to my Grow Getters who were on the Zoom call today. Anyways, I am here today to give you a talking to about giving yourself grace. In fact, this came up today in our Zoom call, in our Grow Getters Zoom call, which I will talk about in a minute. But it's an important issue. It's an important thing. It's something that you need to give yourself. You need to give yourself the gift of grace. Did you know that? Did you ever think about that? So I think in life, we go around a lot and we give other people grace, which I hope you do. I do, because a lot of times you understand the situation they're in, you empathize with them, you sympathize with them, and you give them grace because you don't want to be that mean person that isn't giving grace. I mean, we give grace all the time. Think about it. Maybe you're out and about, somebody does something, at a restaurant, they bring you the wrong thing or you get a wrong order or someone falls or someone makes you stall or someone, does something that maybe is putting you out a little bit or they do something wrong, right? And you give them grace, don't you? I mean, we give grace to a point. After a while, you're like, okay, listen, you need to change things, right? But I'm talking about in general. We give people grace, don't we? We give our kids grace. We give our family grace. We give people grace. We allow them to make a mistake without beating, a pan over their head about it. We just don't do that, right? We give people grace. At least I hope you do, right? I try to give people grace because I need it so badly. You know, I make mistakes. Things happen. You do too. Admit it. You make mistakes. You do things wrong, but it's okay. You give yourself grace. But with our businesses, for some reason, a lot of you have a very, very hard time gifting yourself grace. Right? I want you to think about this today. I want you to think about how much pressure you've probably put on yourself as you've started and grown this business of yours. Or even for those of you that maybe haven't started a business yet, you're in the idea stage and you're working part-time or full-time, or you're a mom or whatever it is, or you're a caretaker, and you put a lot of pressure. And you may stay up at night, like thinking about it, laying in your bed, like, oh my gosh, worried, or trying to think things through and figure things out. And I think that a lot of times y'all don't give yourself grace. And it's putting so much more pressure on you. And it's not making this as fun as it could be, right? This should be an exhilarating journey. Now, this is not to say that business isn't stressful, that business isn't hard, that business isn't challenging. It's all of those things, okay? So it is imperative that you give yourself grace. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 of those areas where you need to give yourself grace and where you need to stop being so hard on yourself and start allowing yourself space to deal with things. Okay. So let me just go ahead and go into the first one so I can explain what I'm trying to explain to you. You need to give yourself grace, number 1, as you start your business. Okay. Let's face it. If this is your first time starting a business, you don't know how to start a business. Am I right? Like, you don't really know what you're doing. You are fumbling. You are just trying to piece this together. You are working when you have time. You are trying to get everything together, a logo, a website, or an Etsy store, your product or your service, and you are struggling with starting, and you need to give yourself grace. Because what is happening is, if you are not saying, okay, it's okay, I don't have to start this so fast or so perfectly or so efficiently. Like, I need to give myself some grace. You may have a family. You may be, as I said, a caretaker. Maybe you have elderly parents or family members. Maybe you have a part-time or a full-time job. Okay. Think about all the things. Maybe you have just gone through a divorce. Maybe you've just gotten married. Who knows what your situation is? But as you are starting this business, give yourself some grace, because it's not going to be perfect. The whole time, it's not going to be perfect. Here's a funny example. So I have been wanting to sell merch for this podcast. I have a really cute coffee mug that I use all the time that I designed myself. It says, I'm just getting started, and it's super cute. I'll have to see it. I'll put the link below to the merch. But for the past 3 years, since I started this podcast, I've been saying I wanted to get this mug up for sale and the tablet and the pen for sale, because people have asked me how they can get their hands on one, because they see me with it, especially people in my groups, because they see me on the live calls and I hold the mug a lot. And sometimes on the lives, if you're in the Facebook group and I've done any trainings or anything like that, you've probably seen me hold the mug. Anyways, I finally decided earlier this week, I'm going to get the merch shop up. And so I signed up with Wix. I'm using Wix as the platform, and I just created a basic little website for the merch. Now, my heart goes out to all of you who are building a website, because I hadn't built a product-based website. There's 2 products on it. It's not like I've got some extensive library of products, but I just haven't done that in a long time. Now, I've created my website that I have that's hosted on Kajabi. I use Kajabi, and it's expensive, and I don't recommend it for everyone, but I do recommend it for people like me that are coaches, consultants, and have digital products and want the email and everything all in one. Anyways, my point is that I feel your pain. The struggle is real when you're trying to get a website together, and I did it in a morning. It took me a few hours because I was trying to decide, how do I want it set up? And I just have the mug as a listing, and the tablet and the pen, and the mug as another listing, like a little gift set. Super cute, right? I had to give myself grace as I made that. Okay, I've built many websites in my day using different platforms, Squarespace, Wix, all that. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, and I want the image to be good, right? Because this is me, this is my business. I am my business, right? But I had to give myself some grace and say, you know what? Just get this up. Just like you tell all your just getting started members and all your grow getters, tell them just you get to keep it simple and just do it. So I got it up. Is it perfect? No. There's probably a spelling error on something, but I got it up, already got orders, so excited. And it's up. And I gave myself grace because I think what would happen is if I hadn't given myself grace, the site still wouldn't be up. The site still wouldn't be up because I'd be like, should I hire someone to make it really perfect? Like, what are these things? This is not a high-end luxury brand where this has to be perfect. I think if you are open a Tiffany or a really high-end restaurant or something that's super high-end luxury expensive, okay, things do need to look really pristine and high-end, right? Because that's a market you're appealing to, and those people expect closer to perfection, right? I'm selling mugs and merch from my podcast, okay? This does not have to be perfect. This does not warrant a whole bunch of money poured into it or anything like that. People just want the darn merch already. They don't need everything to be super fancy. And they don't even know what super fancy would be because it's all in my head. It's all in my head. They have no idea. They just look at it and go, okay, how can I buy? Where's the button? Let me enter my name, address, and credit card, right? I had to give myself grace as I was doing that. And I felt really, it was funny because I posted this in the Women Starting Businesses Facebook group. Like, I actually feel a little more connected to y'all right now because I just went through building my own website and the struggle is real, right? You'll probably saw my post on that. But it's true. Like, just give yourself some grace. You're so busy. I've had coaching calls and stuff going on this whole week, like super busy. I'm trying to get trainings together for my programs. As I said, we had live Zoom calls, like stuff is going on, recording the podcast, getting the other one out this week and released and the emails sent and all this stuff. Like, give myself some grace. I have a lot going on. And y'all know, I've had health issues. I've had this crazy autoimmune going on and like I've had crazy stuff. And so I have to look at myself in the mirror and go, okay, give yourself some grace. You're doing the best you can. So I want you to look in the mirror today. If you're starting your business, you're trying to get everything together and go, you know what? I'm going to give myself some grace. Look at yourself and say, I'm giving you grace because you have a lot going on and you're dealing with a lot. Okay. Give yourself some grace as you're starting and building your business. Okay. Number 2, give yourself some grace in terms of all the things that you think you need to get done in your business. And again, today on the Zoom call with the Grow Getters, they were talking about their list of things that they want to do for their business. They want to do that hasn't happened yet. It's the same with me, y'all. I have a list of stuff. I need to be getting more Facebook ads out there. I'm trying to hire someone that's a Kajabi specialist so they can help me with some sales pages so I can get more ads up. Y'all, I literally have a running list. I wanted to have all this done weeks ago, if not months ago. It hasn't gotten done. Okay. There's all these things that you want to get done. You want to start your email list. You want to start a new product in your business. You want to, get on social more and start doing more videos. Like there's all these things that I'm sure you literally have a wish list of the things that you want to get done in your business that you know will actually help you grow your business. And that's the hard part is because you know that it can actually turn into income at some point, but you can't get it all done. And you have to look in the mirror and say, I give you grace. You have a million things going on. One of my Grow Getters was talking about how she now needs to homeschool one of her children. Okay, she wasn't expecting that. She has got her business full time. Okay, she has to give herself grace and say, you know what? My child is most important, but I'm going to work hard in my business. And I told her, now the time that you have in your business will be so focused and you'll be getting so much done because you will be on limited time and you will do the important things. Okay. And that's the same for you listening. There's all these things. Y'all, I literally have a list that would be bringing more revenue. And I'm working on hiring help and working through these things, but stuff comes up. Personal stuff comes up in my life and in your life, and it stalls things. And that's the way it is. We all want to think that we're going to get through our to-do list. Have you ever had a personal to-do list that you actually got through that nothing ever new got added to the to-do list? No, you did not. You might have gotten through that one list, but more got added the next week. Am I right? Right. You constantly have more to-dos. It's the same with your business. It is just a constant struggle to go. I'm not even going to lie. It's a struggle to go through these things and watch that list sit there waiting because you're like, oh, wait, I could maybe be getting more money or more leads or whatever if I got all this done. We can, but we have to look in the mirror and say, I give you grace. I'm gifting you grace so that you don't feel like this is such a pressure, that this has become a burden instead of a joy. This business should be a joy and not a burden. You're the only one who is making it a burden. Do you realize that? By you not giving yourself grace, you are making it become a burden. Don't do that. And if you've never let your business be a burden, good for you. Don't ever let it. Give yourself grace and say, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to that. I've got my running list. I'm going to do the most important things first. And if there are things that can bring in more revenue that you know you need to get done, you need to prioritize those. I'm working on my stuff right now. I was working on some ads earlier. Y'all may see ads from me, right? I'm working on it. I'm tweaking them. They're not going to be perfect. They are not going to be perfect. If you see an ad from me that is not perfect or the most beautiful ad you've ever seen or just the perfect text, it's because I'm starting ads. And I'm like you. I'm starting something new and I've given myself grace. I've said, you know what? You've got to just start it. Give yourself some grace. You've had a million things going on. You've got to just start it so that you have a starting point. And then you can keep refining and getting better and it will totally improve, right? So again, let's review. Number one, as you start your business, because you've never probably built a business before, give yourself some grace already. You're doing something really awesome and it's difficult and it can be hard, but give yourself some grace, okay? Because your business isn't your only thing in your life. You got a lot of other things going on that are important too. Number two, things that you need to do for your business, like all your to-dos, like your major projects that you want to work on. Like, my Grow Getters are like, okay, I'm trying to get my email marketing going and they're trying to do all these things. And I can just see it on their face. They've got a lot going on and they have that list that almost feels like a burden. Don't let it be a burden. Give yourself some grace and say, you know what? This is life. My business isn't the most important thing in my life. My family is, the people that I love. And I'm going to work through all my commitments and things. And I'm going to work on my business because I know my family needs the income. And I'm going to prioritize what is most important. But I'm going to rest with the fact and be okay with the fact that there will always be something else I need to do. And I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to give myself grace. Look what I'm doing. Gift yourself grace. Number three, and I've kind of already alluded to this before, but you have other priorities in your life. Yes, I said it. Your business is not your first priority. Look in the mirror and say, my business is not my first priority. It is a very important part of my life. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm proud of me. But I have other things in my life too. So I think once you realize that it doesn't have to be the most important thing in your life, it can be an enhancement to your life, an enhancement because you're getting to use your God-given gifts. You're getting to make a difference. You are getting to make money. You're going to get to provide for your family, but it shouldn't feel like a burden because you've got so many other commitments. You have so many other things going on. You have important things going on in your life right now, whether it be your health, whether it be a money situation, a marriage situation, if you're caretaking, if you've got a child that is, suffering something emotional or physical or y'all, there's a million things going on. Okay. But there's more important things in your life. So give yourself grace when you don't get stuff done in your business to say, well, I'm going to give myself grace because this isn't the most important thing. Here's what is the most important thing. And if you know what the most important things are in your life, you will be working hard, doing things for that, but also for your business. Does that make sense? I think a business too can become an obsession. Do you ever feel like you've been obsessively thinking about your business and dreaming about things, but then also worrying about things and all of that? I think that's probably kind of normal because you're starting something new and you kind of get obsessed with it and you're thinking about all these ideas and great things that can come of it and what ifs. But I want to help you give yourself some grace to say, I'm not Superwoman. I can't do everything amazing, but here are the people that I love that I want to be amazing to. What's the legacy that I want to leave? What is important to me. That's what's important. Your business is super important. Don't get me wrong. But are you hearing me on this? Like, give yourself some grace. You have other important things in your life. Stop putting this above those things. Realize that you're needed in other ways too that are even more important than your business. Does that make sense? And y'all may think I'm weird. Like, why is she saying this when all she promotes is how awesome a business is and how important it is? I agree with all of it. I think we lose sight. I think we put so much pressure and we want to just keep doing and doing and doing and achieving and achieving and achieving and making money and all these things that we're not giving ourselves grace to say, you know what? This is a part of my life, but this isn't my life. Does that make sense? And then it's fun when you go to it. Oh, I get to go to this part of my life. Like I was talking to my son today. He's off at college and, he's talking about, oh gosh, I wish I had more time. He loves to read and learn. And it's crazy. Like he didn't love to read in high school. I've told y'all this before. He's so mad that he didn't pay attention and really soak in like the books that he read and all that. And he's like, all I want is free time so I can like read and then maybe go outdoors and work out and all this stuff. And it's hard because you got to prioritize school and things you got to get done. He wants to go study abroad. So he's been having to wrap up getting his visa and all this stuff for that. It's just making me realize like we're all in this. All of us. It doesn't matter if you're a student in college, if you are a mom, a wife, a caretaker, a daughter, a friend, a volunteer, you're also a business owner. You're doing a lot. You have a lot of important things going on. Give yourself some grace. Take the pressure off. When you give yourself grace, you actually lift the burden off your shoulders and say, you know what? It's okay. Because here's the deal. If you and I were talking, like we were sitting down and we were friends and we're like having coffee, we are friends though, right? Right. Okay. So if we were having coffee, blah, 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 and you were like, I just feel really stressed out. Like I need to do this and I need to get my social media up and I need to get my videos up and I need to update my listing on my website. I need to get email marketing going. I'd be like, oh my gosh, sister, give yourself a little grace. You've got a lot going on. Think about it. You would say the same thing to me if I said, oh my gosh, my coaching business. Like, I just know I could be making more money if I could really get the ads up and if I could just be on Reels more. And if I could just be promoting this and doing this and blah, 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 and get more podcasts and do all this. I have to look in the mirror, y'all, and tell myself, give yourself grace. You would tell me that. You would say, give yourself some grace. You're doing a podcast every week. You're doing all that. I have to tell myself this all the time because, y'all, I have my list. Just like I said, I have a list of things and stuff has come up in my life outside of work that have slowed me down. But I don't get mad. I'm not over here going, I'm terrible. This is terrible. I'm never getting it all done. I'm saying, okay, here's my list. What's most important for me to be working on right now? And as I have free time, I'm going to work through these priorities and I'm going to do it. But I'm giving myself grace along the way so that I don't feel that burden and that heaviness and that stress so I can sleep well at night. We have to know that the list will never be done. And it's hard, but the list will never be done. But then I can also be taking measures to get people to help me, which I'm doing right now as we speak. Okay, it's taken me a little while to figure out exactly what I need help with, like exactly what I can hand off. And that's been a bigger struggle than actually hiring someone. It's been more like, what are the needs? And I'm getting down to it now, but it's like, what are really my needs that I can hand off? And you can do that too as your business grows. But some of you are brand new. You don't need to hand off anything just yet, but you probably will down the line. I have to give myself grace in this business. I'm not doing everything right now that I know that I need to be doing to grow this business even more, but I have more important things going on in my life right now. And so I have to take care of that and I have to give myself grace. So today, for you listening, you know I love you. You know that I'm so excited for you and I want to support you every step of the way as you start and build this business. But I want you to promise me that if you're starting and building, you give yourself grace. That if you've got a laundry list of things that you need to be doing in your business, that you give yourself grace. And if you have other important things going on in your life, whether it be health, family, whatever, that you give yourself grace. Today, look in the mirror, look at yourself and say, I give you grace. Okay. God gives us grace every day, all the time. We know this. This is not something new, but it's up to you to give it to yourself as well so that you can live more stress-free and more free as you go on with every day of your life. I'm so happy you're here. All of you today, I want to invite you. If you are in the starting stage of your business, if you are in the idea stage, you're trying to get all the steps together, you don't want to waste any more time, you want to quickly get going, but you want to take time to do things right, get in my Just Getting Started group today. You can get in there. Y'all, it's $7 a month. Are you hearing me? I do live trainings this week. I'm doing one. I'm so excited. Tomorrow, I'm doing one Friday. Super excited, but y'all are hearing this later, so you probably already missed the training. But anyways, I do coaching monthly. You get access to all the printables, social media planner, all that stuff. And then in Grow Getters, maybe open when you're listening to this, I help all of you new business owners learn how to get a grip on marketing this new business so that you can have a steady stream of people coming in that are actually interested in your stuff, okay? Because you want to get to consistent sales, right? So I'm inviting you into Grow Getters today. I only open it every so often. Would love to have you, would love to meet you, would love to have you on those Zoom calls. So make sure you check out the information below. And that is it. Y'all have a great day. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com. And yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.